Headline: Homeland Security reverses course on TSA pre-check suspension after confusion. Yes, Kristi Noem announced with great solemnity this weekend that she would be shutting down TSA pre-check and global entry at all airports because she can. Honestly, she said it had something to do with the shutting down TSA pre-check. Let's bring total chaos to airport TSA checkpoints all around the country. She announced that, and then basically immediately we were told, no, that's not actually happening. Who decided it's not happening? And did she decide it was happening? Why did she decide that? And if she had a reason to decide it, then why was it undone? Who's running things? Who's making these decisions? What's going on there? It's like when they announced that the El Paso airport and all airspace over El Paso would be closed for 10 days. And then a few hours later, nope, no, sorry, didn't mean that. And then we learned it was because they had let the Border Patrol, under Kristi Noem's leadership, play with a military laser weapon, which they used to shoot down Mylar party balloons over El Paso without ever telling the FAA that they were doing that. And so the FAA closed the airspace. And then the White House said, no, you can't close the airspace. And so, yeah, maybe things aren't being all that well run right now. Do you get that sense? Today, a whistleblower testified in Congress. He just resigned as a lawyer at ICE. He's a guy who's been a big part of the training that ICE officers get. He resigned and went public today saying, quote, on my first day, I received secretive orders to teach new cadets to violate the Constitution by entering homes without a judicial warrant. He said, quote, ICE is teaching cadets to violate the Constitution. He provided documents to Congress today that show that ICE has cut hundreds of hours from their training, including classes that teach, quote, the Constitution, our legal system, firearms training, the use of force, lawful arrests, proper detention, and the limits of officers' authority. The agency that's doing that, you want the head of that agency to be the designated survivor? You want Kristi Noem to be the designated survivor? If you did, people might Google her name, Kristi Noem. One of the things they would come up with are these recently published photos. Isn't this nice? This is a plane that Kristi Noem wants taxpayers to buy for her. This is Trump's Homeland Security Secretary, who already took over for herself the house that's supposed to belong to the Commandant of the Coast Guard. This is after the Wall Street Journal reported that Kristi Noem's alleged boyfriend / chief of staff / fixer in the Homeland Security Department fired a Coast Guard pilot in the middle of a flight because someone forgot to bring Kristi Noem's personal favorite blanket onto a flight that she was on. Reuters reports today that Corey Lewandowski actually stormed into the cockpit of that plane to fire the pilot mid-flight. Because of the pilot's, quote, well, because of the pilot's insufficient attention to Kristi Noem's blanket. We have not confirmed this, but this is Reuters' reporting today, quote, the pilots in the cockpit asked Lewandowski to return to the cabin until they had reached cruising altitude. But now she wants you to buy her this plane. Look at this plane. NBC News reporting that Kristi Noem and Corey Lewandowski have had the taxpayers lease this jet for their use already, a Boeing 737 MAX 8. On paper, they say they need this particular plane for, quote, immigrant deportation flights. They have been leasing it already. You have been paying for them to use this plane on a lease. But now Corey Lewandowski and Kristi Noem want you to buy this plane for them. I'm sorry, not for them, but for deportation flights. And also, occasionally, they say, perhaps for cabinet officials' travel. Kristi Noem being the relevant cabinet official. This particular plane they want, again, mostly for deportations, but maybe occasionally for Kristi Noem. It looks like it's really outfitted for deportations, right? It has a bedroom with a queen bed. Sure, that's normal for deportation flights. Also has a bar. That's nice. I'm sure the deportees have come to expect that. Quote, no expense has been spared and every detail has been meticulously executed with, quote, exceptional interior design by renowned New York designer Peter Marino. This is the plane she is leasing right now on the taxpayer dime for her own use, saying it is for deportations. And now she wants you to stop leasing it and just buy it for her and Corey. It has a queen bed.